Hey guys, Tomo back again. This is my unboxing of the Google Pixel 8a. I've been using the OnePlus R over the last few weeks and I love that phone just for the battery life alone. But the camera isn't that great on the OnePlus R. Now I'm going to be using the Google Pixel 8a. Google in general have one of the best point and shoot camera. If you watch any of the blind camera tests over the last few years, it is always the A series. They always tend to win the best camera award just in terms of point and shoot. So this is why I decided to get this phone. In the box you get the charging cable, USB-C. Surprised you still get these dongle thing. They don't really give you that much anymore these days. SIM card tray ejector. Then you got the phone itself. I went for the bay color. I think that's what they're calling it these days. So right off the bat, phones feel very nice and comfortable to hold. I like the curved edges. It fits really nicely in the hand. On the back, you do get this visor bar thing. It is not thick as the 8 or the 8 Pro, but the look has grown onto me over time. First, I thought the visor is ugly, but now it's kind of nice and clean. Volume rocker, giant bezels by the way, coming from the Galaxy S24 with really thin bezels, and even OnePlus 12 have pretty thin bezels as well. These are pretty thick. Pretty sure once I start using it, I'm not gonna really notice it that much on a day-to-day, but as it's booting up, white background, you do see all the giant bezel. Some bezel is not necessarily bad things. Over time, a lot of phones got more curve and less bezel, and it leads to more accidental touches, but I think giant bezels will be okay. Alright, now I'm just gonna set up this phone using my Galaxy S24 to transfer everything over. And before jumping to the rest of the day, just want to give a quick shout out to my partner Mint Mobile. Currently they offer 5G plan for as low as $15 a month. You get unlimited internet, texting, and calling. It is a limited time offer. You do have to purchase 3 months up front, but it is a great deal, so make sure to check it out. Link in the description below. Okay, had to switch phone in order to transfer my data over. I was recording with my Galaxy S24 until I got to this step, trying to scan the QR code here. They don't make it easy. I feel like QR codes are always hit or miss. Oh, turning on my Bluetooth. I'm continuing on setup on the new device, getting the phone ready. Design wise, it's nothing exciting. It looks similar to the Google Pixel 8. Pretty sure the battery life is gonna be worse as well. I do like the design in the back though. It doesn't leave a lot of fingerprint. The 7a and the 7 left a lot of fingerprint, but Google has gotten a lot better over the last few years. So now I'm just gonna set it up, transfer everything over. Then I'll put my SIM card in here and we'll start doing a deep dive on this phone. I do like the compact design. It's similar size to the S24. 6.1 inches compared to the 6.2. It's not going to make that much of a difference, but I will test it out and keep you guys updated. Okay, so what are the most annoying part about using a Pixel phone is it, as you can see right now, I'm using the Pixel camera to record this video. Once I connect my mic into the phone, I have to go into the settings and manually select it to use the wired mic. You would think if you connect it, that would imply I want to use the mic. Why would I connect it and then not want to use the mic and have to go and select the mic? It just feels counterintuitive. Little things like that on Pixel phone just drives me crazy. You think it should be straightforward, but it's not. And even turning Wi-Fi on and off on Pixel phones, you have to hit internet, toggle Wi-Fi and or data. There's never a situation where I need to turn off my data. It's either I want Wi-Fi on or off. So the extra steps is just unnecessary. So just a minor Android, Pixel, stock Android rants that I have. But anyways, after I finished setting up my phone, I charged it up to 100%. Phone was 63% out of the box. I used my laptop charger that I had laying around the house, so it probably top off at 15 watt or so. This phone itself is supported up to 18 watt, which is low by today's standard. And I spent almost an hour charging it up to 100% just for the remaining 40% or so. 8:36 p.m. I finally reached 100%. and I'm ready to begin my day one just because I'm so excited to use this phone. And first thing I did was take it for a ride. Literally got in the car and drove off with this phone. But before even doing that, first order of business, I hopped in the car. I had to connect it to Android Auto, which is pretty easy setup. I have a brand new Mazda CX-5 2024. Everything was pretty seamless. I do have to go into the Maps application on my phone, allow location to always, like I mentioned earlier, there's always little extra steps that you need to take. Pretty sure there are security reasons and other reasons for that, but for me, I just find it annoying. And one of the first thing I do with any phone that I get, any Android phone that I get, is download the SwiftKey keyboard. It is my personal preference. I just find it easier for me to type. It's good at predicting what I usually say. Sometimes I even have suggestions before I even say anything, just because I type the same thing all the time apparently. A lot of people like Gboard too, but you use what you want. I personally prefer SwiftKey. And I always turn on the number row on top just because for whatever reason I end up typing numbers a lot, so I don't like having that extra step of hitting the shift key to get the numbers up there. So as you can see, there's a trend with me and being annoyed by extra steps. And with the Pixel 8a, using this phone for the first time, it feels fast and fluid. But brand new phone, this thing feels blazing fast. It could just be my biased new phone feeling. But this can't always be assumed for phones in this price range. When I used the Galaxy A54 last year, I felt like there's a noticeable lag in that phone. Maybe lag isn't the right word, but it's not as smooth or fast scrolling around. I can tell it is slower, maybe half a second or so between each wipe. And the A55 is not even coming to the US this year, and I'm okay with that. I've never been a fan of the A series. I feel like it is on the slower side. But the Pixel series, they have always been fast for me. I consider Pixel 8a a premium mid-range phone at $500 on par with the OnePlus 12R. I think it is a fair price for it. Anything lower than that, $200 to $400, would be considered budget phone, and anything $800 and above is considered flagship. I don't know about $500 to $700, but mid-tier flagship phones maybe. But anyways, let's jump into day one for real. 8:36 p.m. my phone hit 100%. I unplugged my phone, hopped in the car, drove for 30 minutes with my Pixel 8a sitting on a wireless charger with Android Auto on. I have music playing. I lost 1% after driving a half hour. Here I am typing this notes so I can record the video, and I lost another 1% as I finished writing this sentence. And when I drove back home, got back at 9:23 p.m. another 30-minute ride. This time I did not use a wireless charger, so it dropped down by 10%. So wireless Android Auto in general kills the phone battery pretty quickly, even when using the Galaxy S24. So I would recommend using the cable if you do long trips. Wireless Android Auto is probably better for a short trip, 5 to 10 minutes. You don't feel like plugging in a cable, that's fine. And at night, as I'm getting ready for bed, taking a shower, I brought this phone in the shower. Usually I like to listen to music or podcasts in the shower anyways. Pixel 8a is IP67 water resistant rating, which is higher than the IP64 on the OnePlus 12R. You're going to see me reference the OnePlus 12R a lot because I just finished using that phone and they were both starting at $500. And to me, the difference between IP67 and 64 makes no difference for me. With 67, you can submerge it in the pool. With 64, it is only splash resistant, so you can't dip it in the pool. I don't find myself sitting in the pool or submerging my phones on a daily basis, so I'm okay with either rating, but it doesn't hurt to have the extra peace of mind. Fingerprint scanner, this is using the old scanner, the optical one. It is fine. It's not fast like the ultrasonic. It's not as accurate, but it does the job. Face unlock is pretty accurate as well, so that's pretty fast and it works well. Your finger don't work. You always have your face as a backup. And I'm surprised that I was able to unlock my phone in the shower, whether it's the fingerprint or the face unlock, who knows, one or the other. Eventually did it. And you can almost use this phone in the showers. It doesn't have the Aqua Touch technology like the 12R when you can type while the phone is wet. The Pixel 7a, just like any of the other older phones, do have issues recognizing droplets of water on the phone, but I have a feeling that may be a standard feature going forward with any newer flagship phones in 2024 and beyond. So some of the little things I like about using the Pixel phone is just this at glance thing. I like the weather on top. It is on my always on display, is on my home screen. Just useful information, like tomorrow is going to be 15 degrees colder than today. Very simple and basic, but it helps me prepare for the next day. It's been feeling like summer the whole week, 80 degrees. Tomorrow is going to feel like fall, so I gotta have a sweater and long pants ready instead of shorts and t-shirt. I do like those little quality of life improvements. And at night I saw an update, might as well just do it now so I can get the brand new best experience that Google think I should have with this phone. 10:36 p.m. I'm going to bed and I'm leaving my phone on the nightstand, not charging it overnight, just to test out the standby time and see how this phone would perform on a full single charge. First day of using this. 1 a.m. I woke up with my baby screaming. Noticed my phone dropped 3% in 2.5 hours, which isn't terrible. 6 a.m. the next day, so roughly 7.5 hours overnight, it dropped about 9%. It was at 80% when I went to bed and 71% when I woke up. So during that period, it dropped just a bit over 1% an hour, which is pretty solid. It's not the best in the world, but can't really complain there. So spend my mornings just jamming to Vietnamese music on YouTube between 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. It dropped 20% in those 3 hours. I started work at 9 a.m., attended a few meetings. By 10:30, I'm at 42%. By noon, I'm at 34%. Still got YouTube playing in the background. Play a little bit of Pokemon trading card game as well during lunch. I use the recording app during my meetings. By 2:21 p.m., we are at 20%, and I'm actually surprised this Pixel battery is actually performing pretty well. Before jumping into this phone, I expected to have bad batteries just because of other Pixel phones I used in the past, but this is actually turning out to be pretty decent. It's only day one, but we shall see. 3 p.m., 15% left. 4:30 p.m., 9%. Screen on time is almost 4 hours, mostly just me watching YouTube. 5 p.m., it is projected to last until 6 p.m. So just to clear that the time of death, there's only 5% left. So roughly 21.5 hours of battery life. I started 8:30 the night before. It ended 6 p.m. the next day. 8 hours of standby time overnight. So pretty impressive for day one in the life with this phone. I wasn't expecting to get good battery out of this Pixel phone. I was actually expecting to get like 8 to 12 hours in total, not 20 plus. But we shall see. I'm not sure how this phone is going to age in the long run, but battery looked pretty solid. The next day, I'm going to start the beginning of the day at 100% instead of the end, just to see how that goes. But when I got back home, I just plugged it in for another 20-30 minutes. I only got about 40% after charging it, which is fine. It lasted me the rest of the night, and then when I went to bed, I just plugged it in so it could be 100% the next day and give you guys a different perspective on day two. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoyed this literal day in the life video of this phone, the unboxing, some of my initial impression, the real world life usage. If there's anything particular you want me to cover, remember to like and subscribe. Please check out my 4 months review of the Galaxy S24 if you haven't already. Appreciate the time as always, and see you guys in the next video.